South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program as we ramp up another week of covering the great sport of kings Las Vegas style from your gaming capital here at the South Point studios at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard and the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show and all of the listeners here in town listening to us on our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. Our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world, .global, iPhone, Android, Google phone, covered with the apps. KSHP app, you can listen to us through the radio station. YouTube app, you can see and hear us through YouTube. And, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting as well. Well, we had a big week last week and a big weekend last weekend at Saratoga for their, their big racing day on Traverse Day. Now we turn our attention to Del Mar down where the turf meets the surf, because they're going to have their big weekend coming up on Saturday with the Pacific Classic and a whole bunch of other great stakes races. It'll be an 11-race card, just 11 races, at Del Mar on Saturday featuring the Pacific Classic and, of course, 5 stakes races overall, 3 of which will be Breeders' Cup win and near-in races. And, of course, the Pacific Classic, the $1 million race that's going to bring together finally. We did the rumors and all that. It's been set. They drew the Pacific Classic. And in the Pacific Classic, we've got Fierceness from New York. We've got Nisos based in Southern California under the tutelage of Bob Baffert. And we got Journalism, who has won the Preakness Stakes and has danced practically every dance this year. You know he ran in all 3 Triple Crown races. And this 3-year-old is going to take on the older set, the 4-year-olds and older, for the first time, a 3-year-old stepping out into the older set in a big race, and that'll happen at Del Mar on Saturday. So this is what we got going. And by the way, we also have the big dollar meet of Kentucky Downs starting. Kentucky Downs is going to give away buku bucks, and it starts coming up in a couple of days. Now, Kentucky Downs will open on Thursday. It's going to open up tomorrow with the Tappet Stakes and the Tight Spot Stakes as well. There are a couple of $500,000 races, just getting the feet warm. On Saturday, Kentucky Downs will have 5 stakes races, 3 of which will be a $2 million purse, 1 of which is $1 million. So all the races there at the Kentucky Downs just going to have a tremendous amount of money. 3 at $2 million, 1 at $1 million, and 1, the Nashville Derby, will be $3.5 million in the purse. That's on Saturday at Kentucky Downs. They'll also have the Kentucky Downs Sprint, which will be a Breeders' Cup win and you're in. That's at Kentucky Downs on Saturday. And, of course, as you know, Del Mar, 11 races, 5 stakes races, 3 Breeders' Cup winning your ins. There'll be 2 Grade 2s, 2 Grade 3s, and 1 Grade 1, of course, that $1 million Pacific Classic. And even Louisiana Downs getting in with 6 Louisiana Downs state-bred stakes races there. Saratoga will have 3 stakes races on Saturday, 1 Grade 1, 1 Grade 2. The Grade 1 and the Grade 2 will be Breeders' Cup winning your in races. And, of course, a Grade 3 there as well, wrapping up the 3 at Saratoga. And Monmouth Park and Woodbine will have 1 each. Colonial Downs will have a couple of stakes races there. But it's going to be a big Saturday between Saratoga, Kentucky Downs, and Del Mar. We're all getting ready, set and ready to go. Okay? Taking a look at some of the things that happened over the weekend. Presque Isle Downs canceling their races today. Presque Isle will cancel today of their racing. Ellis Park wrapped up its 25-day meet over the weekend, and the all sources handled there increased 6%. Ellis Park had 6% increase in their all source handling on their 25-day meet there. East Avenue is sidelined again. East Avenue has a bone bruise and will be out for the rest of the year. So this horse has had its problems. Another bone bruise for East Avenue, and he's going to be out for the rest of the year. Skippy Longstockings, who was beaten 40 lengths in that Charlestown Classic over the weekend. We wondered what the heck happened to him. Well, Saffie Joseph Jr. has reported that they checked him out, and they said, look, Skippy Longstockings is none the worse for the wear. That's the quote from Saffie Joseph Jr. So, mysteriously, who knows what happened to Skippy Longstockings in the Charlestown Classic over the weekend. The leading rider at Belterra Park, remember we were talking about, he rode a race. The trainer was upset. The trainer asked the stewards to take a look at the race. They thought, in all intents and purposes, that the jockey did not pursue and kind of almost like stiffed the horse, really. He finished second in that race to another jockey who they say is his girlfriend, okay? So that was the setup there. Albin Jimenez, who was the leading rider at Belterra Park with 81 wins, has been suspended for 1 year as a result of that event, that race at Belterra Park. A 1-year suspension for not pursuing with his horse there. Wow. He was second to the winner as the 7-10 favorite in that race. John Velasquez is going to serve his suspension with no problems. Luis Saez and Irad Ortiz Jr., however, are going to appeal their suspensions that were handed down over the weekend by the track stewards there at Saratoga. Velasquez will be out for 3 days. Kentucky Downs is coming up with a new timing system. They have a new technology, a timing system that says they're going to get the times down at the timing poles down to 1/100th of a second. And they're also going to have stride data available. Stride data, they say, available to help out the safety and the health of the horses. What I'd like to know, and I know what Jonathan would like to know, and probably everybody who watches the races at Kentucky Downs would like to know, are they going to put up more cameras and better camera angles there? Because it is very hard to follow a horse with the simulcast signal that they present for gamblers gambling on the races. We'll wait and see. They're doing a lot of work down there at Kentucky Downs. We'll wait and see about that. Your Travers winner, Sovereignty. Bill Mott says he is now going to train the horse up to the Breeders' Cup. No more races for Sovereignty from now until the Breeders' Cup. They're going to train him up to the Breeders' Cup for his start there. And we want to congratulate the winners of the 65th awards from the National Thoroughbred Riders and Breeders Association, of which I happen to be a member. Their awards, 65th annual awards, will be presented during the Breeders' Cup week. The winners, Mr. Fritz Award was presented to Perry Oots for his outstanding riding achievements. The Joe Palmer Award went to Joe Harper. Joe Harper, of course, a racing executive. The Daily Racing Form, Steve Anderson got the Walter Haight Award, and Nick Luck got the Jim McKay Award for broadcasting. Congratulations to them all. All right, we got a lot to cover on today's show. We got Jonathan Hardoon with us. Of course, if it's Wednesday, it means Duane Colucci is back with us to check it out from the Rampart. Rich Eng will be with us, John Lindo and Jerry J. We're racing at Saratoga today. And I'll go over the Pacific Classic field with Jonathan Hardoon and the menu that happens right after our first break. So don't go away. We'll be right back on this Wednesday show, we want to remind you that we will have a Labor Day Monday race day show as we always do on the Holiday Monday racing cards, okay? This coming Monday, we'll have a race day show on Labor Day at the same time as the weekday right now from 7 to 8 a.m. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. As I say, we will have a Labor Day Monday Race Day Las Vegas radio program. Big holiday weekend coming up, that's for sure. Taking a look at what happened on Sunday, a recap real quick. Flavien Prat had 3 wins on the card. He won the first race at Saratoga on Sunday for Mike Maker. Flavien Prat and Mike Maker paid $40.80 for that win with these 2 guys. Pratt came back in the 4th race with Rich Eng's selection on the show on Sunday with Alamara, for Chad Brown. That horse paid $8.80. Thanks a lot, Richie, for that one. And Pratt had his 3rd win of the day for Linda Rice in the 5th race at $8.70. And as far as the featured West Point, that went to Rhetorical, Ired Ortiz Jr. for William Walden, paying $2.90. Pick 6 paid over $28,000 at Del Mar on Sunday. Trainer Richard Baltas had a couple of wins. He won the Rancho Bernardo with Sweet Azteca, the one as easy as pleased. Sweet Azteca. Juan Hernandez aboard, won her 2nd consecutive Rancho Bernardo. She also won that last year, paying $2.80 at the big prohibitive favorite there. Formula Rosa finishing 2nd, and Don't Tell Your Wives finishing 3rd. Baltas came back with his 2nd win in the 5th race with Oriantes aboard, paying $6.60. And the 7th race, a horse that was 8-1 on the morning line, Antonio Fresu riding for Daniel Durham, Waltz Across Texas, won the 7th race from an 8-1 morning line. The horse paid $82 to win. Unbelievable. Pick 6 at Del Mar on Sunday, $96,698 and 30 cents there. Okay? All right, that's what happened on Sunday, but we got a lot to cover. By the way, and we were talking about all those stakes races, big stakes races, of course, on Saturday at Del Mar with the Pacific Classic and all the big $1 million plus races going on at Kentucky Downs. Don't forget, on Sunday, Saratoga is going to run the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Now, that's a $1 million race. That is Breeders' Cup win in your in, and Mindframe is going to head up that one there. So there's going to be a big racing day Sunday. Saratoga, 2 stakes races, a grade 1 and another one. And Kentucky Downs will have 2 $1 million stakes races there. Del Mar will have the grade 2 Del Mar Derby on Sunday as well. So we got a lot of great racing action coming up this weekend and right through Labor Day. But in the meantime, let's get it started with for today, with the racing menu for today. And, of course, these first post times we broadcast on the show are that of the Pacific time zone. If you're here in Las Vegas, it's going to come on out to the South Point, enjoy the races here in our race book at the South Point. These will be the first post times rolling out here. We are in the Pacific time zone. If you're in any other time zone, you know what to do. Adjust from the Pacific time zone to whatever one you're in, and you'll get it right. You won't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. Okay, here we go. We begin with Delaware Park. Delaware Park has 8 races. Their first post time is at 9:30. Colonial Downs will have nine races today. Just 2 dirt races, 7 turf races, and the 9 race card at Colonial Downs with a pick 6 carryover, a regular pick 6 carryover of $16,272. The races start at 9:30 for their 9 race card. All right, Belterra Park, 8 races today at Belterra. Belterra has a first post time of 9:35. Parks Racing will kick in with a pick 5 jackpot carryover of $90,065. $90,065 in their pick 5 jackpot carryover. 9 races, first post time is at 9:40. Saratoga. They say it's a beautiful day out there at Saratoga. First post time is at 10:10. The first race is going to be a steeplechase stakes race. The $150,000 Jonathan Shepard at 2 3/8 miles. That's the first race on the card, a steeplechase stakes race. And then the second race through the 9th race will be what they consider the flats. 2 stakes races for the flats. The first stakes race of the day for them will be in the second race. So you got a stakes race, steeplechase in the first, and one of the 2 stakes races for the flats in the second. The funny side stakes for 2-year-olds at going 6 furlongs will be the second race. 5 go to the post in that one. Even money favorite there is Toga Twist with Manny Franco. Later on, the $150,000 PG Johnston Stakes, the PG Johnson at 1 mile and 16th on the turf, inner turf for fillies, 2-year-old fillies. It's the 8th race on the card. 9 go to the post in that one before any scratches. And Lukewarm, the favorite, 2-1, is Time to Dream with Ired Ortiz Jr. 9 races today at Saratoga. First post time is at 10:10. 10:10 today at Saratoga. Finger Lakes, the other upstate New York racetrack right now, has 8 races. Their first post time is at 10:15. 10:15 at Finger Lakes. Horseshoe Indianapolis has 9 races. You've got 1 quarter horse stakes race. That'll be the last race on the card. The first 8 will be thoroughbreds. First post time at Horseshoe Indianapolis is set at 11:10. You've got Louisiana Downs. Louisiana Downs has 7 races, just 7 races today. First post time at Louisiana Downs is set at 2:05. Penn National with a super high 5 jackpot carryover of $15,429. Has 7 races there. First post time is at 2:45, and then we wrap it up with Canterbury Park. Canterbury Park has 9 races, 7 thoroughbreds. The last 2 would be quarter horse races. That makes up the 9 and a first post time of 3:10 at Canterbury Park today. All right. Time to bring in Jonathan Hardoon. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, my man. How are you doing?
Good. I hope you enjoyed your 2 days off and raring and ready to go.
Well, let's put it this way. My 2 days off were eventful. And when people think you have 2 days off, you wind up working harder and doing more errands on your 2 days off than you do when you go back to work. So I'm just happy to be back to work and enjoying the great sport of Kings. What a weekend is set for us. We got the big Pacific Classic weekend. We got the Jockey Club Gold Cup on Sunday at Saratoga. And we got a multitude of races that are $1 million plus at Kentucky Downs. I know you're going to do a sheet at Kentucky Downs, and you have, of course, a caution, a message of caution when you do it. Tell them about it.
Yeah, listen, Ralph, it's a very difficult track. They race there 9 or 10 days a year, and you got to get it right. It's important to look at past performances and see horses that have run well there in the past. This year, though, apparently they have a lot more maiden races than usual. Opening day tomorrow, I think they have 3 or 4 baby races, so that makes it only that much more difficult. Certain trainers have done very well there over the years, especially Mike Maker. So try to catch on early, see who came to play. Last year, Joe Sharp had a terrific meet there. You know, you got to catch them early. And again, it's not that long, so you don't have time to adjust. If the whole meet is 9 days, you better figure things out in a hurry. And hopefully they did the right thing and figured out a way to show people the angles and the races where they could have some idea of what's going on. Even when they're coming down the stretch and approaching the finish line, you still don't know where they are. So it's a difficult race track to gamble at, and it's a difficult racetrack to watch races at. But you get used to it, and if you're right, you get rewarded because some of the payoffs there are just monstrous.
Well, and yeah, the payoffs both for the horsemen who are running the races there and the players. I just hope that they spent a little money as they're handing out a lot of money as far as the purse values, and that's fine. That should be that way after the horsemen, etc. But the general public, we, the bettors, are the ones that create the money for the handle and all that. And I hope that they spend a little time in trying to situate maybe more camera and better camera angles so we can watch these races with a little sense of perspective, because sometimes you don't know where they're at the top of the stretch, in the middle of the stretch. It's just you really have to listen. You really have to listen to the track announcer. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're in a sports book or somewhere, always not so easy to listen, and it's interesting. They're giving away so much money in purses. You would think they would try to get it right for the players, at least make it enjoyable where they could watch a race and know what's going on. That's all we ask for.
But, in the time that I spent in Kentucky, I had an opportunity to go out there because that's on the other side of the state from where we were at. But I can tell you this: in those times, it was just like a farm. It was just like a small meet. What they did and what they have done with Kentucky Downs in the short period of time, well, maybe a couple of decades, but in any case, what they have done with that track is amazing. And I hope, and it looks like that whatever profits they make, etc., they keep putting back into the facility to make it better. So sooner or later, we'll get around to the better camera angles, I believe.
Yeah. Hopefully we're around to see it, Ralph. But yes, you're right.
All right, Del Mar Pacific Classic. You got a field of 8 from the rail. Number 1 is Fierceness. Todd Pletcher, John Velasquez.
By the way, that's the worst post position that he could have possibly asked for. He hates to be inside, and he drew the rail. So.
Well, he'll have to work out a trip, they say. The 2 horse is Midnight Mammoth, Craig Delassie and Armando Ayuso. The 3 is Ultimate Gamble, Mark Glatt and Kazuchi Kimura. The 4 is Nisos, the big, comebacker. Bob Baffert, Flavian Pratt's going to be there to ride Nisos. Has been installed the 8-5 morning line favorite in the race. The 5 is Indispensable. John Sadler will employ Paco Lopez, who's coming out to ride Indispensable. The 6 is Journalism. Of course, Mike McCarthy and Umberto Rispoli back aboard there. They are the close 9-5 second choice in the race. The 7 is Lure Him In, a big long shot, Sam Weisensky for Edwin Gonzalez, and the 8 horse is Tarantino, Peter Urton, and Edwin Maldonado there. That's the field of 8. But everybody's going to be concentrating on the 3 horses in this race. Yeah. With Fierceness from the rail, as you said, with Nisos breaking from the 4 post, and with Journalism breaking from the 6 post. How do you think this race is going to develop?
Well, you have the big 3, right? Everybody's concentrating on the big 3, and rightfully so. But the big 3 each have a question mark surrounding them. First of all, Fierceness does not like to be inside, and he drew the rail. So that's strike 1. Mm-hmm. Nisos, the question mark is 1.25 miles. Is he going to get the 1.25 miles? On his best day, he's probably the best horse in the race. And then you have Journalism, who'll be facing older horses for the first time after a very hard campaign. So 3 question marks surrounding the 3 top choices, but chances are the winner is coming from one of those 3.
Now, John Velasquez, and knowing that about Fierceness, is either going to try to go for the lead and get off the rail, or try to work his way off the rail and behind horses, maybe in the second tier. Nisos is by Nyquist. Nyquist, and I think that will provide enough foundation for this horse to get 1.25 miles. He's certainly in winning the.
And he has Baffert. If anyone's getting him to get the 1.25 miles, obviously it's going to be Baffert.
Right, and he won the San Diego Handicap with solidly there, and that is not 1.25 miles, but it looked like he could win another 1/4 mile there without a problem. Or at least 1/8 of a mile, that's for sure.
Yeah, but who was he facing that day, and who was he facing Sunday?
There is a difference. And Journalism, you know that he's a fighter. You know that he wants to win, and you know that McCarthy and the team there have been very diligent about whether they're going to run in the certain races they are. They let Journalism tell them when he thinks he's ready to go. And I guess after that workout on the weekend, he was ready to go.
But isn't every trainer say that about the horse? My horse will tell me what the story is. That's just a standard line, Ralph. I don't buy it. They know what they're doing. Obviously, if the horse wasn't sound or isn't acting right, they're not going to run. But everything else seems to be going. And listen, take nothing away from him or his connections. They fought in every fight. Look at what he's taking. The Sovereignty's taking off now until the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
He's training from now till the Breeders' Cup, and Mott's getting killed on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Run the horse, run the horse. Listen, it's his right. He's doing what he thinks is right by the horse. People shouldn't be getting all over Mott. They don't pay the damn bills. The owners pay the bills, and it's up to the trainer and up to the connections. You can't make a horse run. That's ridiculous. And don't think he's ducking anybody, because he's not. It's just the way his training style, and that's the way this horse needs to be trained. Obviously, he needs a little time between races, and it's worked for him.
Well,
so for people to be getting all over the connections, I don't think that's right.
Well, the thing about it is, Mott is an excellent horseman, and each horse needs a different type of training. And obviously, the way Mott's been training this horse, and the races with the authority in which he wins them, tells you that Mott's on the right track. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. And remember, he's the heat that he's taking on X right now for that is nothing compared to the heat when he decided to skip the Preakness with a Derby winner and forsake a possible Triple Crown in order to do best for his horse. So I got no problem with him training the horse up to the Breeders' Cup Classic.
And he's been right. He's been right, because
sure he
hasn't lost since the Derby. So every move he's making with the horse is right. He knows the horse better than anybody. He wants to train him up to the Classic. Go right ahead. I mean, who are we to tell him what to do?
Yeah, and not only that, but if you, I mean, I'm even noticing it through the television signal, let alone if you were there at the track watching this horse. But it looks like each race that he runs, he's getting bigger and stronger looking.
Right.
He's really developing. Yeah. It's going to be exciting, the Breeders' Cup Class. And it's going to be exciting for the first round against the 3-year-old division against the older horses this weekend in the Pacific Classic, because journalism just isn't another 3-year-old. He's one of the top 3-year-olds in the country. That's for sure. And what about the Jockey Club Gold Cup on Sunday? Getting mind frame in that one.
Yeah, listen, Saratoga closes on Monday, so they're going out with a bang. They're going to have a lot of big races and good racing over the weekend, full cards as well. And I guess Del Mar has another week or so left after this, so they're closing the summer off on a high note. It's amazing how quickly Saratoga and Del Mar, the meets have really gone.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct there. And but we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend watching and betting the races. And you guys are going to be back in the zone for us, and we can start by building the bankroll today at Saratoga.
All right, Ralph, we're going to look at the 7th race today, a mile on the main track. And I've been chasing Lou the last 3 starts he's been in. I'm going to give him one last shot today. He was claimed last time out by Joe Sharp. Drew a line through his last race. It was horrible. He didn't lift a step, but he's been gelded after that race. Dylan Davis rides. I think the race sets up well for him. 8-1 on the morning line. I like number 3, Lou, to upset and win today's 7th race out at Saratoga.
All right, 7th race, Lou. Number 3 in the 7th race. Lou, for you and for me in the winner's circle. 7th race, the 3-horse. And you got a full sheet today for Saratoga, and you will start with Kentucky Downs as well tomorrow, right?
JONHARDOON.com. By the way, Ralph, amazing how many riders are leaving town on Saturday, Saratoga, closing weekend, to go ride in Kentucky Downs. So,
well, it's, the old the old saying is, the old saying is, Jonathan, follow the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
John Lindo was texting me yesterday that Pacific Classic, biggest day of the year, they're giving away $2.5 million at Del Mar, but they're giving away $12.5 million at Kentucky Downs. Just crazy. So.
Oh, brother. Oh, those slot machines, baby. All right. Anyhow, thanks a lot, Jonathan. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
You got it, my man. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, we got Rich Eng standing by, and of course, Duane Colucci yet to go, John Lindo and Jerry Hey, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thank you, buddy. There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Richie, we know that you've got a lot of tickets for this coming up football season, college football futures and NFL futures, but we're going to hold them off because we don't want to rush you on those. We're going to do the college football futures tomorrow on the show and the NFL football futures on Friday on the show. So be forewarned about that because, of course, we got Duane Colucci standing by and, of course, our John and Jerry yet to go. But it's going to be an exciting week this week in horse racing, that's for sure, with Kentucky Downs starting, the big race, Pacific Classic at Del Mar, and the closing weekend down there at Saratoga. You are going to be doing a Kentucky Downs sheet as well, right?
Yeah, I've been doing that for a good 8 or 9 years, Ralph. Kentucky Downs sheet. There's racing for 7 days, and of course, I'll do the Del Mar sheet. So anybody who's a subscriber of mine will get both sheets for the price of one, and it's a pretty good deal. I was taking a look at the races over the weekend at Kentucky Downs, Ralph, and they got $2 million. The Nashville Derby's $3.5 million. It's insane money, and the horsemen have filled the entry box, to say the least.
Well, Jonathan had noted that a lot of the jockeys at Saratoga are cutting out early and not staying till Labor Day Monday to go and ride at Kentucky Downs because of the money. And I know that Jose Ortiz, that's in a battle with his brother Irad for the leading jockey at Saratoga, he said he's leaving as well and going to Kentucky Downs following the money.
You know, when you think about it, Ralph, if you're just like a middle-of-the-road jockey, if you win a handful of races at Kentucky Downs' meet, you can make your year, much less your meet or your summer. You can make your year.
Yeah, no question about that. You can take the rest of the year off after that. In any case, today at Saratoga, we got a steeplechase stakes race as the first, a couple of flat stakes races, as they say in the business, the Funny Side and the P.G. Johnson races 2 and 8 respectively at Saratoga. But I know that you fish out a pick for us, even though you don't do a sheet today. Where are we going?
Saratoga race 4 is a mile in the grass. The pick is for turf only. Number 5, Baloney, if I pronounce that correctly. But anyways, Manny Franco riding for Chad Brown. This horse actually cutting back in distance to a mile. This horse should be finishing like a son of a gun. Number 5, Baloney in race 4.
You can call it baloney, you can call it baloney, and we'll call it just a winner, that's for sure. No baloney there, folks. We're going to get a winner in the 4th race, the 5-horse. Manny Franco aboard at 7-2 on the morning line in the 4th race, the 5. Rich Eng's play of the day. Richie, we'll let you go, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good luck, everybody.
All right, you got it. Now we're going to go to Duane Colucci standing by. Colucci, good morning, man.
What's going on, Ralph?
Well, big weekend last weekend at Saratoga and another big weekend coming up this weekend at at Del Mar. You throw in Kentucky Downs, you throw in a special Labor Day Monday card, and we got a great week looking ahead for some great racing in our great Sport of Kings.
This is why we love this game, right, Ralph? I mean, fabulous weekend coming up. Pack Classic, Jockey Club Gold Cup, and like you said, Kentucky Downs with those huge purses. And, like you just said, even Jose Ortiz is traveling, not worrying about a Saratoga riding title, but more worried about pleasing his connections and garnering those big purses at Kentucky Downs. And they've done a fabulous job with that facility. I know Jim Naismith up there at he works for Mint Gaming, and they've just done a fabulous job with that race course and promoting the game of horse racing.
Yeah, and I got to tell you that there's going to be some great fields of competition, that's for sure. It's kind of, this is the tipping point right now. We're going to get our first qualified big 3-year-old journalism going against the older horses like Fierceness and Nisos. That'll be the first judgment call as far as this class of 3-year-olds going against the older class. Not a complete picture, but yet the first go-around judgment.
Yeah, definitely. And Nisos is a huge test. I mean, he is a monster. Journalism is going to be ready. And you have Fierceness joining in. I mean, Mike did a great job shipping this horse out there to, increase the competition level for both Nisos and journalism. And we're going to see if Fierceness could take to Del Mar's race course and go that 1.25 mile distance from the rail. It's going to be very difficult, but if anybody could do it, it's definitely Pletcher and Mike. So, this horse will be ready. I definitely think he will fire. Is he as good as Nisos and journalism? I'm not so sure about that, but it's going to be a tremendous Pacific Classic. Just a great, great race.
And not to mention, Mindframe goes in the Jockey Club Gold Cup the day after in New York with the top handicap horses there. And overall, over the weekend, between Kentucky Downs and all that money they're giving away there, and, of course, Del Mar and Saratoga, there will be 7 Breeders' Cup win and you're in races be contested over the weekend before we get to Labor Day.
Which is incredible, and it paints the picture. We're going to see how good Sierra Leone is. If he could continue his winning streak, definitely it's going to be a tough test against Mindframe. Once again, the Pletcher and Rapoli connections just incredible with this horse thus far this season, and we're going to see if he is up to the test and if he is Breeders' Cup ready. And like we said, at Kentucky Downs, all those win and your ins, we're going to see a lot of great horses there. I know, I spoke to Richie Baltus before I left Del Mar. He's looking forward for Ag Bullet to run there. And like you had said, Sweet Azteca was phenomenal over the weekend. I seen Banishing has even entered in the Jockey Club. I doubt that Mr. Jacobson will wheel him right back, but that horse was impressive at Charlestown. So many great older and 3-year-olds this year, Ralph. It's going to be incredible Breeders' Cup Classic if everybody stays healthy.
You got it. I mean, the convergence of the 3-year-olds with the older class, the handicap division now this year, for many, many, many years has been kind of vacant from the old days when we saw some of the great horses run. But this year is an exception. It's going to be, I think, it's going to be vintage. That's for sure, because with the sovereignty, with journalism, with a couple of other 3-year-olds that are starting to mature late in the season, and even Baeza that's sitting out there along with Rapoli's 2 big horses in the handicap division and others. It's going to be great. I know that, and we got a sneak peek this weekend at both places. We're going to have a special Labor Day Monday show. Duane, if it would be unfair, but I'm going to do it anyhow and put the little asterisk on it that you did this handicapping way in advance. But a thought about the Pacific Classic and the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Who do you think are going to win those races?
I got to be honest. I think Nisos is going to be real tough. I mean, I've seen this horse now, and it really coming into his own. I think that the trip over the course definitely will help him. Like you said earlier on the show, the San Diego was just incredible. He's going to be really, really tough to catch, and it's going to be interesting to see how Fierceness breaks from the rail and what position Rispoli puts journalism in. Journalism is definitely battle tested. Great run in the Haskell. I don't know if he could unwind unwind like that at Del Mar, but he's proven us wrong so many other times. But slightly giving Nisos an edge. I like Sierra Leone. I think, this horse is phenomenal when he runs his race and when he has his mind set to running. It seems that he's rectified, Chad Brown has rectified the lugging in problem. He's got his little rabbit there that could always help with the pace. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be very difficult on Mindframe, but Mindframe was so impressive earlier in the year, especially at Churchill. It's going to be a great, great battle. I like Sierra, but just slightly in that race. I would not be surprised if Mindframe won and gets the win and you're into the Classic. So I think the Jockey Club is definitely going to be a very, very tough, grueling race, especially at Saratoga, whereas I think the other three should get clean trips in the Pacific Classic, and it should be great, but I like Niso slightly there.
All right, Duane, I know that you don't come on the show Wednesdays empty-handed, so where are we going with the pick today?
Let's go to Saratoga, race 4. I hate to go against Richie, but I like the 4-horse, Johnny's Fireball. Norm Cassie. Horse was on the shelf. A slight little rest from June, but I think he's dropping into a good spot. And Jose Lezcano's been a little quiet at this Saratoga meet, but I think he could definitely get a victory on this horse. I think that Cassie has spotted the horse properly, dropping down from the $80,000 level where he was competitive, even a win at 62.5 if you look on the racing form past performances. So now at this $40,000 level, even off the layoff, 4-1, I think is a very good price. I think we'll see close to that price as well because the race and the field is very competitive. Mm-hmm. Race 4 at Saratoga, number 4, Johnny's Fireball, 4-1. That's my selection today.
All right, 4th race at Saratoga. You like the 4 for all the reasons you just established. The 4 in the 4th race. Duane Colucci's bet play of the day. And you and Richie came together for a Siraco play for me today. The exacta box at 4-5-5-4 in the 4th, and you are on the 4. Hey, thanks a lot, Duane. Don't forget, folks, if you're up in that area, the Summerlin area, etc., and you don't stop at the Rampart, that's your first bad beat because he runs a great book up there. Thanks a lot, Duane.
Thank you so much, Ralph, and let's have a great Wednesday.
You got it, my man. All right, we're going to wrap it up with John and Jerry right after this quick break. Don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to Southern California, where everybody's going to be looking down there at Del Mar this weekend. John Lindo, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. You know, did I hear that you said there was a little rain in the forecast a couple of days ago or whatever down there?
No, there's some forecasts. There's a slight chance, but it's sunny and clear today. And, it's a little humid, a little monsoonal. But if we get anything, which I don't think we are, I don't think it'll be anything significant. So it hasn't even crossed my mind when I'm doing my handicapping for Del Mar.
And what a day it's going to be on Saturday at Del Mar. Not only the Pacific Classic, but a lot of good undercard races as well, right?
Yeah, I think there's 5 stakes. We're entering today for Saturday, so I don't have the full card. Obviously, all we have are the entries for the Pacific Classic done yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how those fields fill out. But 11 races. We start early on Saturday, 1:30 post time with the little shorter days. We got to get all 11 in the daylight.
And John, all I can say is that Fierceness, as they say, probably drew the worst post he could ever draw because he doesn't like to be down on the inside. But that's why you pay the jocks to, ride him. He's got to work out a trip, I guess.
Well, the rail draw dictates his tactics. Johnny Velasquez is going to just have to go. He'll have to send from the rail. And there isn't a ton of dedicated speed. The horse next to him, Midnight Mammoth, has some speed, but he's not particularly quick out of the gate. So I think, we know that Fierceness doesn't overcome adversity real well. So you just take that out of the game, put him on the lead, and he's already shown he's run well at Del Mar. So, his tactics have already been dictated.
And Nisos, I understand he's been training out of his skin.
Bob Baffert has trained Nisos hard for this race. You won't have to worry about fitness. He wants to know this horse can get a mile and a quarter, so he's left nothing to doubt. This horse has worked very well, long distances, big gallop outs. If he's going to get a mile and a quarter, it's going to be Saturday. And,
of course, journalism, needless to say, is just a fighter all the way. And I guess his connections liked what they saw over the weekend and said, we're a go.
Yeah, he's doing very, very well. I saw him gallop yesterday. He's a happy horse, came out of his work over the weekend in really good shape. His coat looks good, and he hasn't lost weight out of the Triple Crown series. He looks like a fit, happy horse, and we'll get a real reading on these 3-year-olds with him facing off against a couple of really good older horses on Saturday.
John, I know that Saratoga is going to have a big racing day on Sunday with the Jockey Club Gold Cup and Mind Frame in that one. And I know Kentucky Downs with all those multitude of $1 million-plus races going on there in that short meet. What are the plans for the Lindo Report for those places?
Well, besides Del Mar every day, I will do the late pick 5 at Kentucky Downs Saturday, the last 5 races. And I'll do that sequence of the pick 5 at Saratoga on Saturday, which ends with the spin-away. I think it's races 7 through 11. There's 3 stakes in there. That'll be an interesting part of the card. So we'll do those. Haven't seen the Sunday cards yet. I'll wait to take a look at what's available and what the sequences look like to see if we add something. And obviously, we got Monday racing here, so a lot on the table this week.
Yeah, and we have a Monday race day show with all of you guys as well. So we'll be doing a Labor Day show as we always have been. And John, real quick, as far as that's concerned, all of those Lindo reports, no matter how many they are, will all be available here at the South Point throughout the week and the weekend, free of charge and exclusively here, complimentary to the horse players, right?
That's why we do it. We want our people at the South Point to have as much information as they possibly can.
All right, John, I know that I just brought you on today to make sure that we get all the systems set and ready to go for the week. But, of course, you didn't do a Saratoga sheet today, so I guess we won't get a pick from you.
No picks for today. We've got enough going on the rest of the week to keep us busy, Ralph.
You got it, John. I appreciate it. I appreciate you jumping on and giving us the latest from Southern California, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Ralph. Good luck today.
All right, now let's go to Jerry Jacovitz standing by. Jerry will give us a pick today because Saratoga is running, and we got a big weekend coming up, Jerry, both at Del Mar and Saratoga, and, of course, Saratoga wraps up on Labor Day Monday.
Well, I mean, it's been an eventful summer. It's been a long haul, so to speak, but it's been some great racing. And I hope for the Pacific Classic, I'm really interested in that they're running journalism in there. It seems odd to me.
Yeah, I would venture to say I'd lean that way too, only because of he's danced all these dances. But I got to tell you, he's got to be a really durable horse, and obviously. The connections are really careful about making any commitments until the horse shows them on the racetrack that he's up for the job. And like I said, he was still vacillating one way or the other until that workout on the weekend for journalism. So I'll leave it up to them.
Good horses work well.
Mm-hmm.
And, you kind of have to leave everything up to the trainers. But this colt's had a really full, hard, long schedule, and he might might be good enough to win the Pacific Classic, but I doubt very highly he's going to be able to come back and do much in the Breeders' Cup. So maybe that's their idea, that they can get this and they don't have,
Okay.
I don't know.
In any case,
Anyway,
we will.
that's up to them.
In any case, we'll continue to contemplate that more. But for today, we got racing at Saratoga. What are you going to do?
Well, we'll go to the fourth race, Ralph. We have Ballooney, the 5-horse from Ched Brown's barn, who's suddenly run a really good race and likes it up at Saratoga, and seems like just the right horse in a kind of a tight fit. 7-2, maybe 5-2 is our bottom. I'll take the 5 over the 1, 2, 4, and 8. Reverse 1, 2, 4, and 8 back over the 5. But the 5, Ballooney, race number 4 at Saratoga.
Well, it seems that the fourth race today is a pivotal race as far as our handicappers are concerned, because Rich Eng came earlier in the show with the number 5, Ballooney. Duane Colucci just came on the show and liked the 4, Johnny's Fireball. And you come here on the show also with the 5, Ballooney. So it's going to be a very interesting race, that's for sure. And with all our handicappers landing on it, it is the handicappers' seal of approval here. Fourth race, you like the 5 over 1, 2, 4, 8, and reverse. And, of course, I got the 4, 5, 5, 4 Siraco exacta box there. Power pages for the rest of Saratoga available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. As we wrap up this show for this Wednesday, Jerry has one more thing to say.
Have a great race day, everybody.